Our page, Bin the Slim Bin, has taken on a life of its own. Initially we hoped to raise the issue of the slim bins, but this inevitably led us to the people who had been making terrible, incompetent decisions on behalf of the people of Bolton. People like Council Leader Clifford Morris, a man who has the full backing of every Labour councillor in every decision he ever makes. The Labour Party stood in solidarity to hand £300,000 over to Asen solicitors. Well, today we are going to enlighten you about another scandal that Councillor Morris has had his chunky little fingers all over. The scandal of the charity Leverhulme Park, and his party in lying to the council chamber, in print, the Bolton News and the people of Bolton. Before we begin, we want to establish the following. The corporate body Bolton Council is the only trustee of all 4 charities currently under the management of Bolton Council. Under sections A8, A9 of the annual returns to the Charity Commission, it explicitly states, current and new individual trustees, your charity has no individual trustees. The first article we will show you is a newspaper cutting from the Bolton News. It explicitly states, Council Leader Clifford Morris told council members that the Leverhulme charity has been informed about the proposals for the £800,000 track and we're happy to see them go ahead. What Council Leader Clifford Morris actually did was to stand up, without passing out, look into a mirror and ask himself, Clifford, can I approve my own Labour Party application as the trustee? Why yes you can, Cliff. Thanks, Clifford. Wait, Cliff, don't forget to take no minutes or assign anybody as the designated trustee. Don't worry, Clifford, this is Bolton, I'm untouchable. Hopefully Clifford Morris doesn't have a multiple personality disorder, but judging him on his actions, you might be a little confused in thinking he does. Clifford then said, he added that the Lord Leverhulme charity has confirmed it is happy with the cyclo-track plan. The Lord Leverhulme's charitable trust has nothing to do with the Leverhulme Park charity, and Council Leader Clifford Morris is intentionally misleading people. Now we get to the really great stuff. UKIP Councillor Paul Richardson raised the issue of the charity at the recent and now famous council meeting on the 30th of November. We'll be periodically stopping the video to explain things you may miss but are very important.
Does he intend to put to such a meeting of all council members acting as trustees of the Leverhulme Park Trust a motion to approve the erection of the cycle track on Leverhulme Park?
Councillor Morris.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, once again, my colleagues have got it wrong, as they always do. If you'll read the constitution of this council, that's the charity commission. You delegated the decision.
Because Council Leader Morris knows that the governing document as set out by Lord Leverhulme for the charity Leverhulme Park does not allow construction of a facility that excludes all for a specific use by the few, what Council Leader Morris did was to approve a land swap. They did this in 2008 to allow construction, and they've tried to do it again in 2016. It's a massive scam that involves approving the land swap as the trustee, which is Bolton Council and them alone, to remove the covenant from the land on Leverhulme Park, thereby allowing their own planning application, which is currently spearheaded by Labour councillor John Byrne, who's also the Mayor's consort, to go ahead.
On land and property, not to the whole of the council. So that was where it stands. But I can announce tonight that the Leverhulme family we've been in touch with them, but the person that is the trustee and trust of their trust has been instructed that they should vote for it, but at this stage no vote is going to be taken. Because we have listened to the people pregnant. I'm not saying it's going to be moved, but there is a possibility that we found a site where people want to work with us. And we will look at that and evaluate that, and if that's a bigger site, then we may go with that site. At the moment, planning permission is Leverhulme Park, so there is no need to invoke any trust anything at this stage.
If you're wondering why all the backtracking, why the panic in the council leader Clifford Morris' voice, why even though they have planning permission to build on Leverhulme Park, they're running away in fear, well, in a few seconds, somebody from the public gallery is going to stop Clifford Morris in his tracks. The judicial review has been submitted by a local resident. It's a case against Bolton Council that challenges the planning application. You may remember it was the application that was block voted through by Councillor Noel Spencer and Councillor Jean Gillis. The judicial review stops the application dead in its tracks. Not only would it cost thousands to fight for Bolton Council and specifically Councillor Morris would have to explain his actions, which would come under public scrutiny. This was filed only days before.
That will be done. That will be done at the right time, when it needs to be done. But we got it wrong. So at the end of the day, we're looking at this. We're listening to people.
10 seconds after, a local resident reminded Clifford Morris from the public gallery about the real reason he was backtracking. A Bolton Council staff member, sat next to the acting head of legal services Sherry Owen, begins to wander over to Labour councillors, handing them copies of what we presume are the judicial review that was sent to the legal department. Why is Bolton Council legal department only handing out copies to Labour councillors? You should by now know the answer without us telling you.
But we also have to listen to the rest of the people that live in Bolton, because this is a facility for the whole of Bolton.
Listen to us, please.
So, Luke,
Listen to us.
I won't answer you, so carry on.
Well, you are, yeah. Can you please be quiet so we can speak to you continue?
Mass walkout.
Bolton Council needs to, with immediate effect, appoint designated trustees from outside of Bolton Council to all 4 of its charities. As for Clifford Morris, this is yet one more scandal against his name and a further mark on the once proud town of Bolton. Morris out.